if you're new to YouTube, is it normal that your main video on your channel has very few to no views on your channel? And should you be worried about this? Now, we know on YouTube, you're able to design your channel page and you usually have one main video that is kind of like the introduction to your channel. And we talked about this in other episodes, how this is not actually an introduction. It is your most valuable, actionable video that helps people because nobody really wants to know who you are until they know how you can help them. So your main video has to be something that's incredibly helpful to them. They'll get to know you and the things that you do. So you don't need to introduce yourself. You don't need to talk about what you're doing there. Use that as an example of how you can help them. Very quick action steps. And we have lots of videos in our playlist. I'll link the playlist down below. Your goal here is to have something that's going to be valuable. However, if you're brand new, you're not going to have a ton of views. YouTube is not this magical place where you just get hundreds of thousands of views just by posting a video. You do have to do the work with this. So as you're creating content, you need to make sure you are consistently posting at least once per week, minimum of once per week if you want to be successful on YouTube. If you space them out longer than that, the algorithm is not going to have a lot of information and they're going to see you as an unreliable source of information because they're looking for people that they can recommend again and again and again. The goal on any social platform is to keep viewers there as long as possible. So if you become a source of valuable content that YouTube can trust to consistently put out content on a specific topic, they can serve you more and more and more to new viewers and help you grow. So they're looking for consistency. They're looking for how valuable you can be. They're looking for who you are serving. So the more content you put out, the more you build up your algorithm standard because the better they can understand you and serve your videos to the correct people. But in the beginning, you're probably not going to have a lot of views. Now, the nice thing is if you're recently new to YouTube, the algorithm has kind of changed drastically. When I first started my three YouTube channels, I had a much harder time getting that initial traction because the algorithm worked very differently. Back then, the algorithm required you to kind of pull a following in. Now that following cannot and should not be friends and family. I did a video on why that is so detrimental to your algorithm on YouTube, why it can actually lead to the death of your channel. So I'll link that down below for you. But you had to build up by bringing in your own following. It's very hard to grow organically. Now, that's very different because now the algorithm is actually showing small creators next to big creators. So if you go on Google or YouTube and you search for something, because remember, Google owns YouTube, so all those things come together. If somebody's searching for something, they're going to get a list of examples. And on that list of suggested videos to answer those questions, mostly we have historically seen very popular videos that have proven themselves to have many, many views over the months and years, hundreds of thousands of views. And they used to be just those high performers, but now they're giving the new people a chance. If you have a newer channel, not brand new, but newer channel, you have the ability to be shown among those really big name people for a short period of time. So if you post something that is going to be searchable, they are going to see then the results of those big high performers and some of the little ones mixed in because newer content could be more relevant and they're going to give you a chance. And then based on how people are reacting, if they're scrolling by, if they're clicking but not staying, if they are not engaging, or if they just completely ignore it, that gives the algorithm information on where to put you. If you can start to get some attention with those initial videos when they're placed in that search, you could potentially grow and you could scale that video up. Will it scale the same way as somebody who has hundreds of thousands of views? No. But it is going to give you a better chance than if you were left to your own devices. So new accounts absolutely have a chance for organic growth more so than in previous years. So we want to make sure that if you're new, you are consistently posting and you're consistently trying to grow while also marketing from outside sources. You should be sending your videos to Pinterest. You should be embedding them on your website. You should be talking about them on your social media. Again, not to friends and family, but to your followers to drive traffic there. Using them intelligently is going to help your growth. And I have a whole playlist on YouTube with hundreds of videos over the years, all the way to recent. So make sure you're checking that one out for tips and tricks on that. But if you're new, yes, it is very common to have very few views, and you shouldn't panic over that. These are what we call vanity metrics. If your main video is the most important one to have there, the most relevant and the most actionable, keep it there even if it has less views. Even if you look on my channels, I have as my main videos most important or most relevant videos, not the most popular. Things that are going to be helpful and time sensitive. I use that to communicate with my new followers. It doesn't have to be my fanciest pop-off, right? So if you have lower numbers, it's okay. Some people will kind of judge by numbers, but they're also going to very clearly be able to see that you're a new channel. You don't have a ton of videos. So even though you are new, they're going to grant you a little bit of grace and mercy because they can clearly see you're new and you're getting started. And if you have quality content, that will keep them there. So your goal here as a new channel is to develop very clear content that is going to relate to your audience and is going to keep their attention. Don't be boring. Don't be low quality in terms of like pixelation and lighting and audio. Be relevant, be quick. We're not going to have a lot of fluff in our videos, and make sure that you are giving them action steps to help them to do something in their lives, in their businesses, in whatever area you happen to be in. The more you learn about YouTube, the easier it becomes. But when you're new, it's going to be new and you're going to have small views. You're going to have small numbers, and people just understand that. The only one that it's hurting is you if you let it. Just don't let it affect you mentally, and you'll be able to continue to create. It takes time. Most people do not get their channels monetized for 2 or 3 years of consistent posting. So you have to understand, YouTube for most people is a very long game. You have to put a lot of effort in, then you can make a lot of money on it on the back end. But it's a business that you have to work at for a prolonged period of time before you start seeing big results from it. There's tons of questions answered in the playlist, but I'm happy to get your questions answered as well. So drop those down below and follow for daily videos helping you navigate the world of your YouTube and your Instagram and your TikTok and your live streaming and your other social platforms to make this the most profitable year you've ever experienced without all the stress and overwhelm of your content creation. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.